SJSU students visited historic landmarks throughout the South, from Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta to the murder site of 3 civil rights workers in Mississippi, and said that visiting these sites reminds them that not much has changed in the last 50 years.
Remember that we aren't progressing very far, but we must do what we can in order to create liberation and revolution within this country that continues to profit and benefit off of the oppression of individuals like myself and like those who fought for our ability to be here.
King was just 39 years old when he was shot and killed. On April 4th, 1968, King was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee while standing outside his room at the Lorraine Motel. Fellow civil rights leader and former Southern Christian Leadership Conference Executive Director Andrew Young was with King the day that he died.
And that even though Martin Luther King was only 39 when he was shot, his death was almost instant. I really don't think he heard the shot or felt any pain, but his body was dead.
In the midst of the anniversary of King's death, Bay Area residents who once lived in the South during the 50s and 60s reflect on their experiences during times of oppression, times like the attacks on civil rights demonstrators at Kelly Ingram Park and the lasting effects it had on their lives.
To come here to the park and to see it again, I don't know for other people, but I get chills. And even though I was very young, it's something that you just never forget, and it becomes a part of you. And it helps to define who you are and how you relate to the world.
Former educator and Bay Area resident Wardell Hurst returned to his home state to walk the path where 14-year-old African-American boy Emmett Till was brutally beaten and shot to death by a white man after being accused of flirting with a white woman. Till's body would later be found floating on the Tallahatchie River with a 75-pound fan wrapped around his neck.
But to come and to actually walk around here and to visit these locations, I still have that painful feeling going through my body as an African-American male.
Those who lived through the height of the civil rights era believe it is important that we educate the younger generation in order to move forward with the ideas that Dr. King fought for.
Have changed, but there's a saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And if you don't tell your history to your young people, they don't know what happened. And there's a saying, if you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going. And a people that does not know their history is destined to repeat it.